gymnast.
Jim, I suspect that Jimmy Hartung is a bit concerned with his event. He's had a badly sprained ankle. He's had a number of cortisone shots in it. And I know in the qualifying meet, the individual event championship, he really had to water his routine down, take much of the difficulty out.
Seems to me, though, that to say that a gymnast is coming off an injury is almost like saying the same thing about a rodeo cowboy. They're always coming back from something, aren't they?
Oh, you've got that right. Well, he should be seeing probably a full-in double back for his mount. Yes, and he landed just exactly the way he did in the qualifying meet. Very low. He just can't get the punch out of his sore ankle. Now here comes his flexibility move, the splits, and he'll probably move right from here into his power move. Nice straddle planche on up to a handstand. Except for his mount, he's well executed so far.
The men perform to silence or to applause, as you hear now. The women use music, as you'll see later on.
Full twisting handspring. Nice style.
Can you tell that he's adjusting this, though, to favor that ankle in some ways?
Yes, I think so. We'll find out now on his mount. He used a double twister in the qualifying meet. He normally would do a double back somersault. There's the double twister again. A little easier on his leg.
Jim Hartung of the United States making his first move towards what he hopes will be the individual all-around championship here. Okay, let's go back now and have a look. Kurt?
Well, here's his mount. See what he did. Took off. He was a little bit slow here. Opened up and put the one hand down. Got about 2/10 of a point off of that.
There's a score, 9.5. That's very solid considering the ankle problem. A good start for Jim Hartung. We move now to a remarkable athlete from the People's Republic of China, Li Yue-Chu. If you haven't seen him before, watch closely. He is really something. I should think a potential world champion, really.
Jim, I think he's the most exciting gymnast I've ever seen. Now watch this, a double twisting, double back somersault. Impossible. And he just lays it in there.
He really stuck it on the landing, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He is a phenomenal athlete. Marvelous body type. He says he has never worked weights. He just works lots of gymnastics. Began as an acrobat.
He has what I would call definition, perhaps. Every move is so specific.
Exactly.
You know, nothing just kind of goes by.
He has great body definition, too, and we've talked about it a number of times. He's nicknamed Thunder Thighs, and for a very good reason. Now, he'll get set up momentarily for his dismount, and his dismount is probably nearly as spectacular as his mount. He does a double full twister, double back for a mount. Not quite the same for the dismount, but watch how he lands it.
No.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, you'll be seeing quite a bit of him during the years leading up to the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Let's have a look at that dismount.
Well, as you said, it's a double back with a full twist, and this is just cake for him. It's good height on it, nice form in the air, pulls it around to a solid landing.
There he is, Li Yue-Chu of the People's Republic of China. And the mark, 9.85. That stamps him immediately as the man to beat here. That is, in fact, the best mark anybody's ever gotten in the floor exercise in the American Cup. Better even than Kurt Thomas wrote a 9.8. A remarkable gymnast is Mr. Lee. You know, we often notice little steps on their landings. And we wondered how much that means to the judges. Kurt gave us
Keeps up his difficulty considerably. He'll be trying a full twisting double back for his mount, and this is the first year he's tried that.
Here it comes.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. In the qualifying meet, he took that right out of bounds. Bart's a real stylist. Works with much more finesse and much more body expression than most gymnasts.
He's coming off an injury also, a very serious one, suffered in the Olympic trials last year to his shoulder, required an operation, but he seems to be back in top form.
From the day he incurred the injury, he had just a terrific attitude about it. He always knew he was going to come back strong, and here he is. And strong. How's that? Straddle plant. Right to the handstand.
Bart Connor trying to replace our fellow commentator Kurt Thomas as the idol of American gymnastics.
That, by the way, was not a miss. A front 1 1/4 right to a front leaning rest. Now gets set up in the corner. Prepare for his dismount. He's had a very clean routine, except for the small break on the mount. Double twister for a dismount.
Oh, that's good. What was it, a 9.85? Well, that was what he would need to tie for the lead here. A lot of events yet to come, of course. But he wants to be close, at least. Now, Kurt Thomas will have a look at his old colleague and competitor, Slow-Mo.
Actually, Jim, this is a great full and back. He was real square off the floor, pulled his knees around, and nice landing. Took a little bit of a step back, but that's only going to cost him a 10.
Let's have a look at his dismount.
All right, he dismounts with a double twist, and normally he dismounts with a double back, but I think he's playing a little safe, and he's just trying to win this competition. Looks around for the landing, and he played it clean.
Now, waiting for that mark, and there it is, 9.65. That's 0.2 of a point. That makes it a very tough uphill road for him to catch Lee of China. But of course, remember, there are 5 more events.
It's almost like Lee is going to have to help him a little bit.
There is a leader at the end of the first of 6 men's events, then. Lee U.S. of the People's Republic of China. In second place, Bart Connor of the United States. And in third place, Jimmy Hartung, also of the United States of America. We'll be back with the one you're going to see by Julianne McNamara of the United States.
And just to show you the power Julianne has, she hits back slightly on the board and is a little short on the board side of the horse, but manages to still get high enough off-light to complete this handspring front with a half twist in the pike position. Now, it's only worth a 9.9, not a 10. She still manages a good score.
And the score she got was 9.60. That was the best, as we said. Tied for second place at the end of one event, Tracy Talavera of the United States and Lavinia Agaki of Romania. We move now to our first look at one of the young Chinese women. This is Wang Chun, 12 years old, 4 feet 5 and 61 pounds.
And, you know, being so small, you'd think it'd be an advantage on this event, but she cannot use the spring of the bars to really help her. It all comes from her own strength, her own power, and she's moving well. Full twisting Coleman each. Little step there.
And if you want to know what lies in the future for Chinese gymnastics, she was only 9th in her own national championships. The score for Chun, 9.40. Here we come with Lavinia Agaki of Romania. Remember, she's tied for second, coming to the uneven bars. Romanian girl, teammate of Nadia Comaneci, and of course, they're all very good on this event.
And she's very, very tough competitor, very determined, working real well at this point. Stalter's excellent. Good form. Another pre-hip. Giant swing. Another giant swing to her dismount. Now she'll do a double flyaway. Solid as a rock.
She did.
Nice exercise.
Lavinia Agaki, in pursuit of Julianne McNamara of the U.S., leads the way on the second event. McNamara yet to come, and Tracy Talavera. And let's check them out. 9.50, competitive, but there's room above that. In here, tied for second, coming to the uneven bar. She's grown a little. She's 5 feet 1 inch tall now. Still just 14 years old.
Tracy's moving very well right now. She looked a little nervous starting her bar routine, but she has so many difficulties on this event. You can understand why. Beautiful change there. Hit her feet just slightly. She can press that up. Full twist. Beautiful. Lots of difficulty. I don't think she wanted to do that, but she'll continue the routine, hopefully not take anything away from her endurance.
But she missed a move there?
She missed it, but not anything to deduct for.
Okay.
Coleman each dismount.
Tracy Talavera is her second of the 4 women's events. Now, I said she's tied for second, and that's true, but she's only 5/100ths of a point out of the lead. Another look.
Well, she was real disappointed, I'm sure, but like I said earlier, she had so many difficulties in her routine, and unless she breaks completely and stops, then there will be no deduction. Coleman each dismount.
Let's see what the judges thought. 9.60 for Tracy. That gives her the lead for the moment. Next competitor, the current leader, is Julianne McNamara, and there she stands. Let's meet her for a moment. Up close.
Incredible, man. It's a stem to a handstand. And I believe most men can't do it as well as she does. Watch this. Right to a handstand. Beautiful. It used to be that you could just swing on the uneven bars and use sheer strength. Now you have to be so precise going in and out of those handstands, those stalters. Julianne has a lot of risk in her routine. Front stalter. Beautiful exercise so far. Another stalter to a handstand. Look at the control in the handstand. Free hip front with a half twist. Great exercise.
Hey, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh, I loved it. That was super.
She only needs a 9.6 to hold on to the lead here, and that certainly looks better than that. Julianne McNamara from Danville, California, although she lives and trains now in Eugene, Oregon.
She has great upper body strength. Little bit off on that handstand turn, but really didn't hurt her routine at all, I don't think. Free hip handstand front with a half twist. Right in the center of the bars, right where she should be.
It's a solid one, 9.70. The leader at the halfway mark of the women's competition is Julianne McNamara of the United States. Second, her teammate Tracy Talavera. In third place, Lavinia Agaki of China. Kurt?
Well, watch here. He gets a little forward on the pommel, and that causes him to fall.
Yep, that was it.
Bends his arms, but he recovers well.
You could see his knee hit as he was coming around there. Standings after two events show Hartung in second place, just behind Bart Connor. Lee of China has dropped to fourth. Bart talked to us earlier about Oklahoma. Now, this would perhaps be the event, Gordon, that might bother him the most with that shoulder injury he's coming off.
He says that nothing really bothers him now, but this is the event that he had the most difficulty getting back into. Nice strength move, a planche above the rings. He's done his shoot now. The rings are reasonably steady. Giant swing the other direction, locked elbow. Working very well.
Somehow this has never been a strong event for American men.
Not
in any way.
No, not as compared to some of the other almost ring specialists, like Greco from Romania.
Dan Greco.
Boy, Bart's doing a fine job here. Watch his layout, double back now. All right. Bart Connor hit.
Fine landing, too. Bart Connor has reached the halfway mark in his quest for this championship here.
Okay, here's his press to a handstand. He does a straight-armed pike body press to a handstand. Then he gets ready, and on his bail, he does a nice high bail dislocate to a handstand. Goes right back through the handstand position. Hits the bottom hard. Nice layout somersault to a good landing.
And the score, 9.7. That's strong, very competitive, but it leaves a little room for Lee and for Hartung. Now the door really begins to creak open for Jim Hartung. A mark of 9.9 could vault him past his teammate Bart Connor and into the lead.
Not likely, but this is one of Jimmy's best events. He likes to work it, and he works it very well. Watch the power move, the very top of his exercise. He should kip and move right into a planche. Hold it, 2 seconds, good, and he drops out. Rings almost dead steady, just the way they ought to be. Very nice straddle press, planche press to a handstand. Now he'll bail out, giant swing, locked elbows, good technique, has a slight swing, that's no deduction. He'll drop out in such a way that he kills the swing very well. Now he's going to be going for a double twisting, double flyaway, right here. Fine exercise, Jim.
Was it a 9.9?
No way, but it's a good one.
The dismount?
Well, he gets good rotation here. He really gets cranking right through the bottom here on his dislocate. Goes right through a handstand. Pulls a long time because he's got to finish 2 flips and 2 twists in the air. Pulls up on the rings, starts to twist real early, wraps that left arm in so he can finish the second twist, looks for the ground, and over-rotates it just a little bit. There's just a little step there, and that'll cost him a 10th. But That was a very difficult dismount, and they should keep that in mind.
Well, it looks like we're not to see Jim Hartung's mark just yet. He gained 5/100ths on his teammate Bart Connor. Now here's the man in third place, Li Yuechu of the People's Republic of China.
And Mr. Lee is trying to play catch-up. So far, no big problems. In fact, he's rather solid at this point. Very nice cross. And we know that he's going to have a big dismount.
He looks a little weak on his press there.
He's looked a little weak all the way through, I think. It's just not as precise as you'd like to see him. Full twisting, double back, not as big as I thought.
Well, even a perfect mark of 10 would not tie him for the lead right now, and that did not look like a perfect performance. Have another look at the dismount.
Okay, here's his bail into a dislocate. Straight through a handstand position. Nice body technique, good extension. Pulls off the bottom. Nice form in the air. Looks around and over-rotates it just a little bit for one step or a 10th deduction.
Here comes the score. There he is. Mr. Lee's score, 9.55. He's slipping down behind the American. The standings then at the halfway mark of the men's competition, Bart Connor of the United States, the leader, followed by his American teammate, Jim Hartung. And now Lee of China has dropped down into fourth place behind Hoffman of the German Democratic Republic. There's much more to come here in Fort Worth. This is Jim McKay with Kathy Rigby Mason, and on the balance beam, we're watching the defending champion, Tracy Talavera of the United States, who at the moment is in second place, just behind her teammate, Julianne McNamara.
She's working quite well right now. Aerial cartwheel. She must feel a little bit of pressure in the earlier competition in the individual apparatus championship. She had a big break at the end of this routine on her dismount, but she's doing real well right now.
She only trails her teammate by 15/100ths of a point.
Very aggressive. So important. Right through there to a little pose. Watch this. Look at Thomas Flair on the balance beam.
Mm-hmm. 14 years old. She appears so long-legged. It's hard to imagine she's only 5'1", but that's what she is.
That's right. Big break. That's really too bad. 5/10 of a point. You know, Jim, I think coming into this competition, there's a little bit of a psychological factor in that she only had a week's notice, and it's hard to prepare yourself mentally.
She's also the defending champion here. Let's get the dismount. And there
Double
she is.
flip.
Why did she only have a week's notice, Kathy?
Well, apparently she just wasn't in shape. She had hurt her ankle about 6 months ago and declined the offer to come to this competition, but a week later they decided to invite her again, and here she is.
Here was her problem. Coming up.
Excuse me, Jim, she looks right on right here, but when you're doing tumbling moves like that, you have to be so on the first two moves and then perform a trick like a back layout on the beam. It's just very easy to get off. Her left shoulder was off a bit.
Tracy's mark, 9.05, and that will cost her dearly for her in last night's qualifying competition.
Now, Julianne did a round off to a double back. Had no problem in practice with this dismount. There she goes. She over-rotated, though. Watch her pull her knees in. Chest too far beyond her shoulders. Big disappointment.
Now the leader in the competition, the 15-year-old freckle-faced American, Julianne McNamara. A score of 9-3 or better will keep her in the lead with only one more event to go.
Jim, she's very capable of doing that kind of routine. She has lots of difficulty, but it's also a real critical event for her. She has trouble with some of the different moves. This is the first one. See if she can hold this one-arm handstand. She doesn't hold it long. They should hold it for at least 3 seconds. Right to a handstand.
She knows her teammate fell off this beam.
And in the previous competition, in the individual apparatus competition, she fell on her dismount, had a beautiful routine, and then fell on the dismount. So she has to be just a little nervous here, like her teammate, Tracy Talavera. This is a back handspring right into a back, not 2 back handsprings in a row. I thought she was going to do a back flip there. Tends to work a little bit with her shoulders up. They try to stretch. Now watch this. A planche right into a back hip circle now. Nice move. See, she moves around that beam very freely. Going to make the beam round after a while. Jump straddle, another critical move. Very nice. That's a tough move. Those shoulders and hips aren't in line. They're off just slightly. You're in trouble. Back pike. Little bobbles here and there that may cost a half a tenth.
She can get through this safely, however. She'll be much more at home on the final floor exercise, won't she?
Yes, and let's see if she can get this cartwheel double back.
All right.
Didn't overspin that one.
Okay.
Nice.
Julianne McNamara needing only a 9.3 to hold on to the lead with an event to go. Almost unquestionably had better than that.
Let's take another look at that strength movement. You can see that she really prepares herself, even in the very beginning. She gets those shoulders leaning way over. She has incredible upper body strength. Now this part just has to stay pretty free of that beam because it isn't round. She had to worry a little bit about this dismount because of previous experience in the last competition. She gets those feet right on. Nice lift, way above the beam. Really pulls it around. Good landing.
Now Julianne looking for, she hopes, her first international championship. The mark is actually 9.625, but they can't manage that on the board, so it looks like 9.62. At the end of the balance beam, then, Julianne McNamara will take a comfortable lead into the final event, the floor exercises, over Lavinia Agaki of Romania. As you see, Tracy Talavera, the defending champion, dropped all the way down to 5th. We'll be seeing the final men's event, the high bar, shortly. However, the vault and the parallel bars have already taken place. Let's check them. First, the vault, and a remarkable performance by Lee of China. New stars emerged with almost cruel efficiency. This was the unforgettable Nadia Comaneci, as we saw her, a new star in Madison Square Garden, beginning her swift ascent in the months before the Montreal Olympics.
Wonder where she pulls all that strength from. Here's her last tumbling run. A double twist. Beautiful. Look at the height on that.
Suddenly, there it was, the first perfect mark of 10 that we had seen. She went on to get 7 more in the Olympics. Just 1 minute remembered out of time as we look toward our 20th anniversary special this April, celebrating the win with a mark of 9.65 or better. And here she is, marching proudly to the center of the mat. The moment of her career to date.
You can bet the adrenaline is running high. Her first move, a double pike, is what she'll be thinking about at this moment. You can almost tell what they're thinking before she even goes for it. Here she goes now for double pike. Pretty good. She's happy, you can tell. Got one tumbling run out of the way. To build the power now for that second tumbling run. Front flip, round off flip flop, double twist, beautifully done. Clean form. Must have a change of pace in their routine. There's a Branny. This is where it is. Great control on her hands. Should have a twisting dismount. They're tired right about now, but didn't look like it there. Nice form.
Dramatic music for a dramatic moment in her career.
She could do it, Jim.
It appears that she well may have done it. Julianne McNamara at age 15 serving notice that come 1984 in the Summer Olympics, you'll have to deal with her, maybe even long before that at this year's World Championship coming up in the fall. A very appealing young lady, Julianne McNamara.
Julie seems to be a better twister than flipper. On this last tumbling run, she just shows just how precise and beautifully she can do a tumbling move. There it is. just as good as in the middle of her routine. And her last move on the floor, balance move. She had a little trouble in previous competition to right here, right on balance. Right there.
9.8. That does it. Julianne has won the women's title. In a minute, we'll see the now former champ, Tracy Calavera, trying to move up from... She's not going to do it. A bad performance on the balance beam. They gave her a mark of only 9.05. Took away any chance she had. However, she's really good on the floor.
Yes, she is, Jim. She has one move coming up in her opening tumbling run that's a little bit critical for her. She was overspinning her double back in practice. Let's see if she can hold on to it here. Very nice. Really knows how to concentrate when it counts. Front flip, one of her front tumbling passes. Down a flip-flop full. I think in future competition she'll be putting a double twist on the end of her second tumbling run there. It's not the end, folks. Very nice ballet moves. Little twisting back handspring. Pressed handstand. Great control on her hand. That control comes from working the balance beam. Let's see if she can have the endurance now to really bring that last tumbling run high. Double twist. Beautifully done. She's glad that's over with. Nice routine.
Tracy Calavera. Well, she didn't let that balance beam disaster phase her at all. Not in the least. And at age 14, that's pretty good. Well, look at that. 9.80, the same mark that Julianne got. And that is going to move Tracy all the way from 5th place to a tie for 2nd with Wang Shun of the People's Republic of China and Lavinia Agami.